Today, I'm here with Professor T.J. Tipper. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
I'm fine.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. First question. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. Went to undergrad at West Virginia University, master's here, North Carolina Central University, certified strength and conditioning specialist. Been doing this 22 years. All that fun stuff.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Mr. Reese.
Hi, how are you doing, Eric?
Good. All right. So, could you tell us about yourself, like your name, where you're from, and your profession?
Okay. I'm Teresa Myrick. I'm a physical therapist.
All right.
I live in Littleton, North Carolina now, which is about 12 miles west of here. But I grew up in a little town called Maysville, down in the south, near Newbern and Jacksonville.
Okay.
But I've been here 33 years.
33 years.
Mm-hmm.
And your profession?
I am a physical therapist.
All right.
And I received a bachelor's degree in 1983 from UNC Chapel Hill. Today, the physical therapist who graduate will come out with a doctoral degree. But I came out 35 years ago and had a bachelor's.
What was your major while you was at West Virginia?
Exercise sports science.
Okay, so what was the undergraduate degree?
It was in physical therapy. I did 2 years of undergraduate general science, and then applied to physical therapy school and was in the physical therapy school, so I got my bachelor's in physical therapy in 1983.
Okay, that's interesting, especially since today we have to go to
to
graduate school now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And where did you go to college at?
I went to UNC Chapel Hill, and while I was there, I volunteered at the local hospitals just to make sure that's what I wanted to do. But I already knew that's what I wanted to do. My brother has cerebral palsy.
Okay.
So he had to go through some physical therapy, and that led me to believe that's what I needed to be doing for a profession.
That's good. That's good. Do you have any certifications or certificates that support you in being a physical therapist?
Well, I have to renew my license every year, so I'm licensed by the state, and I renew that every year. And then we do continuing education every year. So I'm certified. Last year I became certified in dry needling, using acupuncture needles to help with pain control. And other than that, I've just taken courses every year. I'm not really certified. I do taping, I do manual therapy, exercise. I take classes in all those, but I'm not quote-unquote certified in anything else except the needling.
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit more about the dry needling?
It's called dry needling because there's no medicine involved. It does use acupuncture needles, but I'm not an acupuncturist. I did not study Chinese medicine or that cultural medicine. I use the needles mainly to hit trigger points, which are tight muscles or muscle spasms, to try to relax the muscle to help reduce pain. I can also follow the nerve roots and the nerve patterns because I know where they are in the body because of my anatomy classes. But I tend to trigger more the muscle spasms and tight muscles to try to reduce pain.
Okay. Break up like trigger points. Okay.
Do you have like any certificate for like when you graduated and stuff?
I have several certifications. At one time I was a strength and conditioning coach. So I have my CSCS, I have my USAW Olympic coaching certificate. I've actually had inline skating certificate before. I was a CPO, a pool operator at one time. What else? Personal training certifications.
That's nice.
What made you want to become a physical therapist?
My brother has cerebral palsy, and from the age of 5 to the age of 10, he had 3 surgeries, where they had to cut the hamstrings and the heel cords on both legs because the muscles were so tight they were drawing, and he couldn't walk normally. So he was casted from his waist to his toes 3 different times, and they were left on for like 8 weeks. And then when he came out, he had to learn how to bend his legs and bend his ankles and knees and hips and walk again. So Mom and Dad did it on their own at home the first 2 surgeries, and it was terrible. He screamed and hollered, and it was very painful. The 3rd time he went to physical therapy, and they did put him in a whirlpool, and they showed Mom and Dad how to do some different techniques with massage, and it helped tremendously. And from that point on, my mom thought it was a wonderful profession, and from the age of 10, that's what I wanted to do.
Are you older or younger than your brother?
I'm older. He's two years younger than me.
Okay. That would. That's definitely some motivation right
Yes,
there.
he's my inspiration. Yeah, he still is.
That's good. That's good. Is he doing okay today?
He works. He has his own home. He has his own tractor. He works through the Disability Act with the government. He works at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Okay.
But yes, he's very high level functioning.
All thanks to physical therapy?
Well, some of that thanks to physical therapy.
Okay, some of that.
And a lot of self inner drive. He's very self-driven.
Okay, okay.
Okay. What made you get into that? Like,
Let's see, I started as a architectural engineering student, and it was fun, but I was an athlete, so I thought it'd be more fun to do this.
okay, that's good.
With the years of work through college and all that, were they worth it to become a physical therapist?
And I think I would still do it now, even though I'm so glad I didn't have to spend 7 years to get my degree and all that money. Because you do come out with debt, unless you get good scholarships. But it is worth it. I love every day. I never dread a day of going to work. And it's after 35 years, it's wonderful to still enjoy what you do.
That's good.
Yep.
I see that you enjoy what you do.
Yes.
In your profession, do you enjoy like teaching the students about, you know, fitness and like how to work out and stuff?
You know, I do enjoy that. I enjoy helping them do what they want to learn about this industry or profession. And there's several different ways you can go.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Did you do any particular internships or jobs in college that significantly benefited you?
Not for this. I did volunteer. You had to have observation hours, so I went to the local hospital and observed. I think I had to have 40 hours. And then whenever I had a chance, I would go to the hospital and observe just to see what exactly the therapist did. And then in college, we had to do internships, and we had to do rotations and clinical rotations through the burn center, the regular hospital, the outpatient hospital, home health. So we did lots of clinicals in different areas that a physical therapist would work, and that gave me a good variety of options to do when I graduated.
You said the burn center, so physical therapy can help with burns.
People that are in the burn center, especially if they burn very badly, do not want to move. You know, if you get a burn, you don't want to move that finger if you burn your tip of your finger. But if you're burned all over, you don't want to move. But we've got to keep the joints moving so they don't get contractures and get stiff. So you do range of motion exercises with them. But I've also done wound care, where you go and you remove the dead tissue and apply ointments and creams and redress it. So I've done wound care and range of motion and strengthening in the burn center.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I never knew that.
What made you come to North Carolina Central University for, you know, grad school?
You know what? I didn't know much about this area. I came down to visit. I have a twin sister. I came down to visit. Drove by campus, walked in the building. I was like, hey, I'm interested in taking some classes. They signed me up for class the same day I showed up.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
How does your profession benefit those around you?
Well, we see all ages of people. We see people, I've seen infants through 100-year-old. And our goal in physical therapy is to return you to as normal of a function as possible. So if you fall and break your leg, or fall and break your arm, or have rotator cuff surgery, or have knee surgery, or just get in a car accident and have back pain, our goal is to try to figure out what the problem is, address it, and get you back to the prior level of function that you can do before the injury or onset or the cause of the problem. You know, try to get to the root of the problem, fix it, help you to fix it, help you to know what to do at home, and then that allows you to be more functional and back to your normal way of living.
Okay.
So, while here, like, what was your greatest experience at this university?
There's several. I deal mostly with students, so I think I just enjoy, you know, working with the student, interacting with the students. So.
Okay, so
Have you continued your education since graduating college? I know you said something about
Every year we do continuing education. That was not required until about 5 years ago, but all through the years I've been working, my employers have all encouraged us to take classes, to you refresh yourself. One of my favorite classes was I took another anatomy class. In school we had a cadaver, so you could see the body, take the skin away, look at the muscles, nerves, arteries, veins, bones, and I did take another refresher course about 10 years out of school, which was a good refresher. It's just nice that was my favorite class in school, to see how the body works and to see the muscles. And especially my cadaver, seeing the muscles themselves and seeing where the nerves run and see if you pull on the muscle, the arm moves or the leg moves or whatever. It's just neat to see how we're put together.
Is it a funny feeling to work for the cadaver?
The first days it was horrible. You smelled formaldehyde. It was like sickening. But by the end of the semester we were eating lunch and there was our cadaver.
Oh wow!
We named him. We had a nickname for him, and we took good care of him. But people that donate their bodies to science, it's wonderful because it really does for doctors and healthcare professionals. It makes a difference to see what you're studying in a book. A picture looks one thing, but to see it in person is another thing.
Yeah, it's good that you can donate your body to science now. I know Leonardo da Vinci, I think he got into a lot of trouble over that.
Well, now, and some of the bodies were unknowns, John Doe's, from that no one claimed or whatever, but some of the ones that we were in our class, they would tell you about the person. When you had the class, they tell you a little history on the person that you were working with. So.
I kind of wouldn't want to hear that.
Well, that does make it personal, because once you get in there, you sort of forget that it's a person. You're studying the muscles and the nerves and all so. But it does sort of help you to know where they came from and appreciate that the family was willing to donate, or that even though they didn't have a family, their bodies were being put to good use after the fact. So, anyway.
Do some of these students here look at you as a role model?
That's a tough question. I hope so. I mean, I'm here for the student. I work for the student. So whatever I can do to help.
Oh, that's nice.
What advice would you give to students that want to become a physical therapist?
Observe. To make sure you want, because it's hard to get into school. So, and then I've had a few classmates that got in and dropped out because they really wasn't what they thought. So if you think you want to do it, observe. Observe in an outpatient setting, observe in a hospital, observe in home health, an athletic department, because a lot of, like at UNC, they have a sports trainer, but they also have a PT on staff. So if you're interested in sports, do that. Go to a school and say, can I please observe how you're handling the athletes? But just observe as much as you can to get a feel for exactly what physical therapists do. And then if it's really what you want to do, study very hard, check into the schools in the area, see what they require as prerequisites, call the offices, go by and visit the schools, and then determine which one you think you might want to attend. You apply to several, more than one. I didn't. I only applied to one and got in. I was blessed. But you apply, and then you just work very hard to keep your GPA up. But also to let them know that you know what physical therapy is, and why you want to be in it. Figure out why you want to be a physical therapist, so you have a testimony, so you can tell them why you want to be a physical therapist.
I definitely think that observing part is very crucial. I know I've seen a lot of people, not just in physical therapy, but in all majors in my school so far, just change the major, either than junior or senior
When you're 17, 18, 19 years old, it's hard to know exactly what you want to do. Unless you've been driven, from the age of 10, I remember what I wanted to do. But it's hard to know exactly what you want to do. And you might have a picture of what the job requires, but until you get in there and observe it, it might be a different picture. So to see therapists and see, in any profession, go observe as much as you can to make sure that you would really like to do that every day of your life.
Like, do you have students ask you what steps can they take, if they want to go into this profession?
Yes, that's a lot of times people because our profession has a lot of variations. We work on what they're interested in, like cardiac rehab, strength and conditioning coaches, getting jobs with like a pro baseball team, or internship. We got a guy he just got a job at San Francisco Giants baseball. So he's getting ready to graduate. He's got a job in San Francisco already.
Oh, that's nice.
So whatever the student's interested in, based on your internship and your certification, we can get you to that area. I mean, even physical therapy, occupational therapy, it's wide open.
Okay.
If given the chance to go back, would you change anything about your academic career that would have benefited you today?
Not really. I had a great undergraduate program, a lot of sciences, and I was lucky to get in my junior year. So it was junior and senior year, and then summer afterwards. Well, but now since it's a DPT program, I would probably take more anatomy and physiology because that's very interesting how the body works. And like I said, observing and volunteering, just to get your hands in there and just get involved with it, see if that's what you want to do.
Definitely important to know the anatomy and physiology. I know that was a real favorite of mine before I came to college.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the body's a wonderful, amazing being. Bodies are amazing.
It really is.
Yep.
Well, that's all the questions.
Okay.
Thank
well,
you for the interview.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Just want to remind you, this video will only be shared with my professor and my group.
Okay.
So that's the only people that will see it.
That's fine.
And thank you for the
All right.
interview.
Thank you.
Okay, last question. What do you love about your profession?
The flexibility. Like you see, I'm on a treadmill right now. Instead of sitting in my office for 8 hours, I can leave the office and have some freedom. That's about it.
Well, thank you for doing this interview with me, and
My pleasure.
Can't wait to see you some more.
Pleasure. Whatever I can do to help, let me know, okay?
Okay.